What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Wow, Sean, that bass really went for a walk, huh?
You like that?
You made us a song!
I made a song!
How exciting.
I know. I got a, you've always been telling me I need a hobby.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was meant in a condescending way or just like a,
Why
hey.
would I mean that in a condescending way?
I don't know, like, hey, you need a hobby.
I have 1,000 hobbies. I love hobbies. I think everybody should have hobbies.
Yeah, well, you can never be sure. When somebody says you really need a hobby, it's usually in like a sarcastic, condescending way.
No.
It usually is.
Oh, okay.
But yours wasn't?
No, I meant it seriously.
Well, thank you so much. So I got a MIDI keyboard. So I was jazzing around with the keyboard, having just a good old time.
Yeah.
I was having a blast with it. Yeah, I was really just having fun, and came up with that little ditty last night.
You did such a great job.
Thank you so much. I was thinking, hey, should I pop a melody on top of this? But you got that bass line. I'm like, you know what? We just want something to keep the motion going.
Yeah.
Get
What kind of melody were you thinking? Like a...
Oh, I was just jazzing around with all kinds of stuff. Some synths, some guitar, some whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought, you know what? No, it's too much. It's too much.
You kept it simple. I like that. I respect
Simple.
that. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, and I showed it to Ant today, and he said, oh, that bass really took a walk. Did you just say that?
I said that,
You
yeah.
just said that. Well, Ant was the first one to say that, and I didn't know that he knew that term, but the bass did go for a walk. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Or not. Whatever. What do we got this week?
All right. Well, I have so many notes I can't even keep track of
Oh,
them.
great.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you want to chit chat about? I know we've talked about aliens several times, but you said you had some sort of alien update.
Well, I'm right in the middle, almost at the end of a podcast episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. He's got one of these alien guys on there. Not an alien guy.
An alien.
No, he has a guy that investigates aliens, and it sounds so compelling. It sounds like he really has like some serious evidence, and he's like so well spoken and so like smart sounding. I mean, he sounds a little kooky, as to be expected. You gotta be a little bit on the fringes of the scientific community here. But I think they're real. And this
guy convinced you?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't looked into it at all, but I trust
You trust
this
that guy.
Yeah,
That one guy really sold you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for you on that.
Yep.
Proud of you. The main topic, though, we're going to talk about is ethics.
And potential fraud? Possibly. Okay. So here's why this is so timely. We talked about we've had quite an experience on this podcast with the 10x phenomena.
Yeah.
I 10x'd
You 10x too close to the sun.
for 1 week, and it didn't work for me. But I wasn't really going to pass judgment on it for those that it does work for, because a lot of people it does work for.
Can't yuck someone's yum. There you go.
Exactly. You still saying that?
Yeah.
You're still all love and light?
I'm love and light. You can't yuck someone's yum. Well, I mean, you can, but it's
rude.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. So then we had the story about the pool builders from Colorado that went bankrupt and basically just took a bunch of money from people. Maybe they dug a hole for a pool, or in a lot of cases they didn't do anything. And I think in this episode we're not going to. Should we not say the people by name?
Those people are the new person we're going to talk about.
Both.
No. You can do whatever you want, but the new person was like, there was like a news expose on that person. So I feel like.
Oh, so we can't get in trouble for it?
It's just free reign. Like,
okay.
That's
all
public information.
Okay, so a man by the name
Unless
of...
you want to do business with this person at some point, but I think if you're willing to burn that bridge with this man,
so, yeah.
I think it's completely fine to give the people his name.
Okay, there's no bridge because I don't know him personally, but Brandon Heitman was arrested for taking deposits on mostly pool jobs. He's doing all landscape, the whole backyard package, just like we do, but we actually do it. He apparently does not sometimes.
Yeah.
There's evidence that sometimes he does, and there are some completed projects, but Other times he does not.
Yes.
And it just came out. He's another 10Xer. He's got his own academy.
That's what really gets me. He's got his own thing.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. You finish. Sorry.
So he was arrested, and there was quite a few news stories on it. A really good one on like Fox 2 Detroit or something. There was a really in-depth one, and I loved the editing on it. The whole storytelling was so good. They really hit on the academy that he has, and it was really funny.
I kept calling him the crybaby contractor.
Yeah, with like the clip art, like tears coming. It was really good. The thing that really just has always rubbed me the wrong way about this whole like 10X thing and the mentorship and the masterminds and the groups and all these things is what makes you qualified to charge people money to tell them how to run their business, like selling them this dream, like, look what I did. And he's been in business for only a few years, exploded his business over the last like 3 years. Wow, good for you. We've been in the most expansive outdoor living boom in probably an entire generation, maybe in the history of the world. With COVID, the pandemic, everybody wanted something outside in their backyard. So there was like no competition. Like you could sell everything. Prices were going through the roof. Everyone had a great year the last 3 years. Like anybody could have expanded to meet that demand. That's not anything. Right?
Yeah.
And you're going to like build your whole like academy and your whole persona as a business leader based off of this. Oh, I grew my business to $10 million in revenue in 3 years. It's like, okay, well, apparently you were also leveraging like insane amounts of debt, like barely stringing this operation along, so much so that you had to take deposits from some jobs to probably finish jobs that were ongoing that you ran out of money on. And it's just like a pyramid scheme that's going to fall down. And I feel bad for not only the people that got their money stolen, because now he's declared bankruptcy. So like pending, I guess, criminal charges, it's probably going to be really tough for them to get their money back. At least all of it, I would imagine.
Yeah, but according to his social media, he's still working. Like he's still posting that he's working. So I don't know I don't know what the point of that.
I don't know either. Like, and apparently, according to this news story, he wasn't even licensed until like March of this year. So it's just like this facade. It's just like this. It's been this sexy thing to get into lately. And I'm sorry, I know you mentioned previously this week you hate when people use that word in any capacity. So I apologize.
No, not in any capacity. When it's just like a...
Somebody commented sexy deck on one of our posts, and you're like, I hate when people say that. So I'm sorry, but it's like this thing. There's like this allure to being a guru in the construction industry right now. Everyone's a freaking guru.
I don't know if that's new though. I feel like that's
frustrating.
Absolutely.
It's very frustrating.
It is. And if you look at his website, it's just insane. And today I tried to like sign up for the academy just to see if that like I could. And it like gets you to the point where you're about to pay. And then it's like, this academy has closed or like
school is not in session.
School's not in session, whatever.
Or we are not taking new students. Like he's still like making it look like this illusion of success. Like it's so successful, we can't take on new students because not because I just got arrested for ripping people off and not running my business the right way, but because it's just so successful. We can't take on any more students.
Yeah. But I feel like there's just at every point in history, there has been these like snake oil salesmen that like, this is just the new version of it. It's like,
that's true.
These people, you have a platform where you can do and say anything that you want. You can charge all the money you want for like everyone sign up for my class. I'm going to teach you how to do social media just like Premiere. I'm going to get you as many followers as Premiere has. You just got to give me a down payment and I'll take it from there. You know, like anybody can say anything that they want on the internet. It's free. It's just out there. You can say whatever you want and people will or won't give you money. And back in the day, how much is the class
going to be? This sounds compelling. I would pay for this. This sounds great. Yeah.
It's actually my new side hustle I've been meaning to tell you about.
Wow. Contact
me, everyone. No, I'm just kidding. But like back in the day, there used to be like door-to-door salesmen that were like, you know, selling literal snake oil. Like, so I feel like it's just with the internet, you hear about it more, but there's always just been like, it's just human nature, I think, sometimes to just be like the worst.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And with social media, it's like this person is putting themselves in your face all the time.
Yeah.
And then the second that it kind of crumbles around them, like it's also online and you're going to hear about it from everybody else that's like, you know, just been watching this, like, and you can tell it's just like this bullshit facade of success because like that's the definition of success is not, well, there's lots of definitions to it, first of all, but it's not like, wow, you grew a business in 3 years. Like, great.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was not sustainable. Like, you need like a proven track record of doing something through the ups and the downs and proving that what you do actually does work, not just like, okay, the market was absolutely insane the last 3 years and I grew my business.
Yeah.
He's got these posts like, just dropped $400,000 on 4 new skid steers. It's like, I don't care how big your business is. Like, that seems a little aggressive.
Yeah.
That seems like you're scaling too fast. Why would you need 4 new skid steers all at the same time?
Yeah.
Like, it's just unsustainable, and it goes against everything that I believe in as a business owner, and it just really frustrates me.
It is incredibly frustrating, and I think that it like tarnishes the reputations of like just the industry by proxy, just because it makes people more cautious when they do hear these stories. And I think that it's just, I feel like it's like he's preying on uneducated, or not even necessarily uneducated, but like homeowners fell for his whole spiel because he was charismatic, and it's like, look at, I'm this young man that's done all this great stuff, and look at this thing I can, and you know, but homeowners won't know any better. They see a pretty picture and they're like, well, you can build that? Okay, great, I love that.
Yeah.
But the academy preys on people who are just trying to better themselves. They hear this like, wow, you're gonna fix all of my problems, and you get it also because you're also a contractor who runs a business and is trying to do better, and you're going to teach me how to 10x. Somebody taught you how to 10x, and now you're going to teach me how to 10x my business. This is incredible. Like, I feel like it's just preying on vulnerable populations, which is like absolutely disgusting.
I agree. I totally agree, and I just don't know why like people find the need to do that. Like, because the other thing is, if you're so successful in what you're doing, do you really need to be charging people $250 a month to like do if you're so successful, your time would probably be better spent making those millions of dollars on your landscape construction business. You know, it's always like, why if you're really that successful, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, that's why the only person I've really like ever been able to be like, I see what you're doing, I respect it, and I think it's a good thing, is Dan Preston.
Yeah.
Because he's teaching what he is good at and has proven, design and installation of hardscapes. I love that he's like, I don't touch sale, or he does touch sales, but he's like, I don't touch pricing. Like, you got to figure that part out on your own. I'm going to teach you what I'm good at and what I know and what I have this track record of. And from everything I've seen, he's doing a really good job, and he's like creating great content that's really informative. But there's just like, there's such a dime a dozen, and everyone's trying to do it, and it's like,
I feel like what Dan does is different though, because he's teaching like technical, tangible things.
Yeah, it's not just like
this Heitman Academy thing is like, just believe it, bro, and that patio is gonna put itself together if you just believe in yourself hard enough.
Yeah,
like that's, to me, that's two completely separate things.
Yes. It's just ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And the other thing, his logo, Exigent Design Build, is it's got like a cross on it. Like he's praying on
cross? Like he's a religious guy?
I mean, it looks like a Jesus cross. A cross.
So even if he isn't religious, he's kind of
he's just
playing
like,
that.
Yeah, because like, oh, what? This guy's a man of the Lord.
Yeah.
He's out here just building beautiful things, and the Lord has blessed him, and he's also got a Lamborghini, and in the, like, it's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And I would like to speak on this topic as well. The luxury car situation.
Yeah.
And like you said, like buying 4 skid steers all at once.
Yeah.
As much as I know about business finances and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To me, when I hear, okay, the business owner he had like a Lamborghini, his daily driver was some like crazy Audi, like he had all these vehicles, had all this stuff.
I think a Range Rover too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My initial thought is like, okay, that's amazing that this business owner had, like, we have a similar, you know.
I also have many Lamborghinis. Yes.
Like we have similar businesses, and I, you know, like, okay, that's great. You figured out a way to get a Lamborghini. Do your employees have health care? Do
Probably
your
not.
employees have enough money to feed their families? Like, how are you allocating your funds in such a way?
Well, it's really
That, like-
simple. It's really simple. You can afford to pay your employees really well, give them benefits, have a Lamborghini and a nice house if you just get paid for the job, but then you don't do the job.
You don't do
it's
it.
really pretty simple.
Oh.
It's really pretty simple.
You know what? I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
So try that out.
But I feel like a lot of these, especially like these young guys that I see coming up, they're really flexing on all this stuff they can buy. And it's like, that's really not the flex you think it is.
It's
Like
not.
well taken care of employees, that's a flex. Having a thriving business that is showing sustainable growth, total flex. Amazing.
I'm just out here
You being
flexing.
like 23 driving a Lamborghini, that's a red flag, I'd say. Like,
I'd say
I don't
so.
think this kid, I think this guy's older than 23, but I'm just generalizing.
30, I think, yeah.
It's like, I something's not, you know, red flags are red flags for a reason. That seems strange to me.
Yes, I would 100% agree with that. And also, like, Lamborghini is so tacky. I'd get a Ferrari.
Okay.
Like, we go Lamborghini, Ferrari. I mean, if I was going to buy a car like that, as I previously said, it would be an Audi R8.
Yeah.
I'm an Audi guy. Had one in high school. It was pretty sick.
You had an Audi R8 in high school?
No, just it was an Audi A4. Bought for $6,500, and it was sick. It was really sick.
I believe it.
So,
Almost as cool as a Lamborghini.
yeah, it was cooler because I actually paid for it. It didn't get repossessed. I didn't get arrested, and it was
you're right,
very
that is
nice
pretty
for
cool.
18-year-old me or 17-year-old me, whatever.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
So, I just,
I know. It gets
yeah.
your blood boiling when you
It
hear this
really
stuff.
does. It really does because it's just the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
Like, anybody could watch this stuff and be like, this guy, come on, this is just like, it was going to end this way. Anybody
Yeah.
could see it.
Right.
But, like, it's so embarrassing. Like, you just got arrested and, like, you have a Lamborghini? Like, what are you doing? What is going on?
I think my favorite part of this is that he's just still posting on social media as nothing has happened.
Well, he's like trying to show, like, no, this is just an anomaly. Like,
Yeah.
if you can have a Lamborghini and a huge house and all this stuff and everything's going so well, then you should be able to, like, you shouldn't be in a jam like this. Like, okay, let's just paint the picture. These clients are the worst. They're manipulative. They're horrible people, and they're just like, everything is wrong with them.
Yeah.
You should have the money to say, okay, I'm refunding your deposit. Our business relationship is over.
Yeah.
If you can't do that and you can't build the project either, that's not good.
Yeah. And I think if I do remember the news
getting all
story,
worked up.
you are.
Yes.
If I remember the news story correctly, like the people said like, okay, just give us our money back if you're not going to do it. And that's when he started crying because
There was multiple accounts of cry and
yeah,
tears.
that's why
yeah.
they were calling him the crybaby contractor, because he was crying to them and being like, I can't afford to give you your money back. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't even trying to like be smooth about it. I guess he was just kind of saying, I drive this Lamborghini,
And also,
but I
we
can't give
looked
you
at
your
his
deposit
website
back.
today, and it was like, how to grow a multi-million-dollar landscape construction business through hard times like the pandemic, and now into a tough economy. Like, the economy just sort of maybe turned, and this already happened.
Yeah.
Like, you survived the tough economy for like a month, but like you were already stealing the money from
Yeah.
it. Like, he must have written that like very recently. So that's like just how preposterous this whole thing is.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You ever feel like you're like, you know, like imposter syndrome? Like, sometimes I feel like, oh my God, I feel like a phony sometimes, you know, like you feel like, why am I sitting here talking about how to run a business?
Right.
And most of the time we talk about what not to do and the mistakes that we're making, but
Right.
like that somebody could just go to that ridiculous of a length to create this delusion. I think he's suffering from a delusion within his own mind. He's painted this picture so much that he believes it, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. Did I mention it was ridiculous?
you hadn't, but I'm glad you pointed that out because I
Perfect,
also
yeah.
do think it's ridiculous. I would love to get him on the podcast. I know you said you didn't want to, but I would love to have a conversation.
I know you almost messaged him today. I'm like, no, like I don't want to. First off, I don't think he would. Second,
Probably not.
He would just say like, I can't comment on it. Talk to my attorney, like you said to the news
that's true.
guy.
That'd be boring.
And it's just like, I'm just so fed up with it. It's just so ridiculous. I felt more bad for the last people that this happened to because they were like 19. But since then, they have started a new business under a new name. So like, they're probably just complete scumbags as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a young kid making a mistake because it looks like they're going right back into the scheme.
Right back at it. Yeah.
It's just first off, you don't need a Lamborghini to be happy. I wholeheartedly believe that. I can't tell you exactly what the key to happiness is, but I don't think it's a Lamborghini. So like,
I
just
agree with that. Yeah.
build a good business, do a good job, stay true to your
good
word.
person. Yeah.
Be a good person.
Yes.
God.
So, all right. I
Okay.
can feel you getting frustrated, but this
that come
also
across? Yeah.
leads into a bigger topic of just ethics in business, which, as we were talking about this and like what we were going to talk about today, I realized I took a class on this in college. Totally forgot about it.
Oh wow, you're basically like a professor
I
of
think
this.
so. I think I am. Yeah, it was a philosophy class that I had to take because I was a philosophy part major. But I think that it's like, that is obvious fraud. You can't take money and then not do it. But even there was the one person that they showed on that news story, like he did build something, but it was like the pool basically
was like collapsing on itself.
Yeah, it was like twisted in a way that it was just collapsing on itself. And to a point, I feel like a lot of people, like, especially when you get subs involved, then it's kind of like it can turn into like a pointing finger situation when those things happen. And then it's kind of like an ethical dilemma of who's going to fix this? Because, like whose fault is this?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Another thing that it just reminded me, because I've seen his videos pop up across my feed for quite some time, and there was a video that he put out that I think was from that job that they showed on the news that was like all twisted, and he's like, the job's going horrible, and he's just like strolling through there like, all right, like he's trying to do that clickbait thing, like, oh no, we made a huge mistake on this project, and he's like, we got concrete in the pool, the concrete's supposed to go outside the pool, and he's like being all jokey about it, like, all right, we made mistakes, we're gonna fix it, but like apparently he didn't at all. And just like the audacity to be like, and we document our mistakes a lot, but then we also document like
Us fixing it.
He was just trying to flex it in a way like, look, this is just adversity that you have to get through, and it looks like the subs didn't do a great job on this concrete, and they got some in the pool, and it's all messed up, and it's all uneven, but this is the adversity that you just got to push through. Well, apparently he didn't push through it.
Yeah.
Because the pool like won't pass inspection, and anyway.
It's horrible. But anyway, so there's a lot of, obviously,
I have one more story really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Really quick.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just have to get these out before I can concentrate on anything else.
Go ahead.
I saw another video where he is, I think at a Chipotle in his Lamborghini, and he's like filming himself because a guy that works there is like, whoa, dude, is that your car? And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah. A couple years ago, I was just like you, man. Just didn't know what way to go. And, if you set your mind to goals, and you can have a Lamborghini too. It was like the most cringe video I've ever seen. And he's just like literally like outside of a Chipotle, like, yeah, man, this is my Lamborghini, and you could have one too if you got the right mindset. Starts with the mindset, man.
And he was filming this interaction as it was supposed to be just like a candid moment. It was supposed to be a quote unquote candid moment that was just happening, and he happened to be filming it.
Well, no, he's like, this guy came up to me and said this. So he's like,
oh, he's retelling the story.
no, but he's like, I guess as soon as like the first word was said, like, "Hey, is that your Lamborghini?"
Okay.
He's like, "Let me pull out my phone and be like,
Gotcha.
hey, Ricky here. You're working at this Chipotle, but he probably tried to get him into rolling the class in the academy.
Definitely.
But it was just
Obviously,
like,
always be hustling.
it's ridiculous.
If I saw that interaction happening, I would slash his tires. That is obnoxious.
Now on to ethics.
Anyway.
Should you slash somebody's tires? Okay.
That is justified.
All right. That's all my stories on him. We're not going to give him any more spotlight unless something else pops in my head. But that's it for now.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with a quote because I know you like quotes.
Yes, I love quotes.
And I'm sure you've heard this one before. From Warren Buffett, it takes 20 minutes to develop it takes 20 years to develop a reputation and 5 minutes to destroy it. And I would say
Absolutely
that
true.
expose has really ruined his reputation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run through the pillars of business ethics, or the
Okay.
principles of ethical business.
Perfect.
I'm just going to list them off because there's a bunch.
Okay.
Honesty, fairness, leadership, integrity, compassion, respect, responsibility, loyalty, law-abiding, accountability, transparency, and recently added is environmental consciousness and environmental impact.
12 pillars. Okay.
12 pillars.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is such a topic where people are like, obviously, we're all adults here. We know right from wrong.
Yes.
But clearly people don't. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have different versions of what is ethical and what is not ethical. So I thought we could play a little game where I wrote down some
Yeah, I
ethics
love games.
questions, and we'll see how you answer it.
Okay.
Okay?
Is this like a trick? Am I going to get
no.
arrested if I fail?
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
If you are given too much change, do you tell the person?
Yeah, of course.
Every time.
Yeah, because that's just like the stakes are so low, and it'd be like, I don't know, it's just be like, oh, you'd be such a scumbag to like steal like $5.
A lot of people view it as like, this is just my windfall. That's your mistake. And
I mean,
now
if
this
I'm
is
at
mine.
like the supermarket and then like I get home and I realize, oh, they gave me, I'm not going to go back to the store and give it back.
What if they give you $50 extra back? Would you go back?
Not if it's like a chain. Sorry, is that bad? I guess
That's
it
why
is.
I'm asking these questions.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't know.
it's a
First
know.
off, I don't think I would ever notice because like I just shove any change I get just gets shoved into my pocket. It doesn't go back in a wallet. So there's no like ledger of what I had. It's all found money for me.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So that's where you stand on that.
Where do you stand on that? Would you go
I
back?
always give it back. Yeah. If they gave me, I mean, I feel like my
if you're
threshold
home,
would be
say
like
it's a half hour away and you're home and you
a
realize
half hour away.
yeah, and they gave you $50 back.
So my stance on found money is if I find money, I give it to charity. So that's what in that scenario, I'd probably do that. I would donate it somehow. To me, found money, unless I intentionally like buy a lottery ticket or something, then I've earned that money. That's not found money. But if I like find a $20 bill on the ground, I donate it.
Okay.
That's always been my principle.
I like that. That's good.
Found
good.
money is not meant for me. It is meant for something better. So that's how I've always felt about that.
So you're donating in the name of someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you see a coworker who is your friend in this scenario, you're not the boss. You're just amongst a bunch of coworkers.
Okay.
You see your coworker who is your friend.
I can't imagine not being the boss. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's so hard. But put
Okay,
yourself
no,
in this
yeah,
position.
I got you.
They get some sort of bonus. They get it. They did something. They earned a $10,000 bonus.
Yes.
However, you know that this person got that bonus because the boss thinks that they did something that really somebody else did. And you know that it was somebody else that did that thing, but neither of those people know that you know the truth. So you're kind of in the clear.
Yeah.
Do you tell the truth and right the wrong, or do you just let it be?
Definitely let it be. I'm not going to get involved with that.
Okay.
Like that's between those two people and the boss and the $10,000. Because then I could come forward and then the person could just be like, "That's not true. I did it," and you'd be like, "Well, okay, I don't know." And like you're just like now you're just like the rat, and like even the boss doesn't know if you're telling the truth. So it's like, no, I wouldn't. Not in that scenario.
Okay. Let's see, another one.
And who am I to say just because they didn't do that one thing that they didn't deserve a bonus? You know?
Well, no, they're getting this bonus because they did that thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure they did other stuff that was really good. I don't know.
Okay. A friend.
How am I doing so far?
That's up to you to decide.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not up,
Oh.
these are not.
This
These
is-
are just open-ended questions.
Okay.
These are just ethical questions. A friend of yours,
Yes.
let's say an acquaintance who you know and trust.
Yes.
They've recently shown that they might have come into a little bit of money or something.
Yes.
They tell you, you give me $500, I will give you back $15,000. Just trust me. I'm going to do it. You get the impression it could be a little bit shady, but you have no reason to not trust them that they wouldn't give you that money that they say they're going to.
yeah.
They seem to be doing well, but you get the idea that it's kind of sketchy. Do you do it or do you not do it?
No.
No.
No. I mean, 'cause
Not even worth it?
No,
What if the
they're
money
not-
is more?
The more that the money is, the more they're just going to take your $500. Like, why would anyone say, give me $500, I'll give you 15,000?
Because they're going to invest it. They've got their investment.
Is this somebody that comments on like a, my good friend,
Give me
Caroline?
your money and I'll invest it in Bitcoin and I will get you some money.
ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing.
No, it's not
obviously-
that.
It can't be
They
true.
tell you it's some sort of like international offshores account that they're investing in, and
That's made up. That's not possible. It's
Okay.
ridiculous. Why wouldn't they just invest their own $500 and
because he's
get
trying to help
50.
you out. You're his friend.
no? You said acquaintance. No, I would not do that. That's preposterous. That's just ridiculous.
Okay. Let's say your coworker takes $20 out of the company business. Let's say you work at someplace that has a cash register.
Yeah.
Your coworker takes $20 out of the drawer, but you know that they are on hard times and they're probably going to use it to feed themselves or their child or something. Do you rat them out? What do you do about that?
I think depending on how close I am with this person, I either talk to them first, because like you're gonna get caught. So I think I would talk to them and say, hey, look, I saw you do that. You better stop, or you're just gonna get fired. I don't know if I'd rat them out. God, these are really hard. I don't know. I don't know.
I think in that scenario, I would just say, put it back and I'll give you $20.
So then they feel bad.
No, because I'm like, I wouldn't want you to get in trouble because you're probably going to get in trouble and I can give you $20. So let's just pretend like this didn't happen. Like I saw maybe a couple months ago, I saw kids, like teenagers stealing from the CVS in town. And it was like snacks.
Yeah.
And I was like, put it back or like, don't do that. I'll buy whatever you're trying to steal. Like it's not worth getting in trouble. Take this as a lesson because I caught you and it wasn't somebody more important in this store. I will pay
You
for
did
it.
that?
Yeah.
Aw.
Because it was like young teenagers. And I was like, you're going to get in trouble. This is dumb. They were like
Yeah.
shoving it in their like sweatpants. And it's like, you're going to get caught. You're being dumb. Take this as a lesson because you did get caught. I saw you.
Yeah.
But I don't care about CVS. So I'm not going to like rat you out to CVS to get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's not worth getting in trouble. I'll buy you a snack if you want a snack. Just make better decisions in the future.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And then this will be the last one. But this is like
This is basically like
this
it's
is the-
just giving the impression that you're like Mother Teresa and I'm like the devil.
I don't think so.
So I'm just like, no, I wouldn't. I would let it slide. I wouldn't do that.
What?
I feel like I'm giving the
Is it
wrong
$20?
answers here, but I'm trying to be honest
There
here.
is no right answer.
Okay.
That's the point.
I feel like there really is, but okay.
No, there's not.
Okay.
There's really not. These are ethical questions. This is like
it's
this.
kind of
this-
like somebody steals a loaf of bread to feed their family. Is that wrong?
well, stealing is wrong. So that's why it's a
How
dilemma
do you
because
own a
stealing
bread?
is wrong.
How do you
But
own a
people
bread?
need to eat. So that's why there's a
Yeah.
dilemma. That's
Okay.
why people have these
All right, what's
debates.
the last one?
Okay. This is like the quintessential question that people get asked when it's an ethical question. If you see your friend's spouse out on a date with someone who is not your friend, do you tell your friend?
100%. Yeah.
You get involved?
Of course. Unless like I have the inkling that like maybe they're into that. Like that this might be like okay. But yeah, 100%. I feel like it would be the more ethical dilemma is you find out that your friend the one that you're friends with
yeah.
is cheating, do you tell that friend's spouse who you're like less of a friend with? Like your friend.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's more
What
of
do you
an-
do there?
I think I stay out of it.
Yeah.
I think I stay out of it, yeah. But if my friend's wife is out there with some other man or woman or whatever, definitely. I'm going to be like,
Riding real quick.
sit down. But then you run the risk of what if they're like, you're lying. Why are you trying to break up my marriage?
Yeah, you do run that risk.
Oh,
And what if
maybe I
that person
stay
is
out of
like,
it.
that person could be like, it wasn't a date, it was just a business dinner. And then you become some sort of like, then you become
yeah, it's tough.
a bad person.
And I guess it would also depend on like, you know, on who who the couple was. Like if I saw it coming, I'd be like, it's probably for the best.
We'll let this work itself out.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be working out too good anyway. They're not good for each other. I don't know. That's really hard questions.
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was
that's
gonna-
why I feel like when it comes to business, people have like your own personal beliefs and values, and it's easy to come up with how you feel on things. But when it becomes a business ethical decision, it becomes like a group of people's collective problem if something goes wrong. So this guy screwing up all of these relationships with these people and doing whatever, he's got employees. Like he has to think about those people that he's now really put in jeopardy with their career. I don't know, maybe it's all subs. I don't know what his whole situation is. But like when it's with a business, it makes everything really complicated because money's involved. And then you're responsible for taking care of your employees and taking care of your group and your people and
it's a heavy burden to bear.
it is. So
Something to think about.
that is something to think about.
Yeah. I think those ethical questions are very difficult. The one in the matter of the pool builder, pretty cut and dry.
Right.
Take the money, build the pool. That one's...
That's
So-
pretty easy. Yeah. If you're going to take some money from people, you
So
do need to do what you
There are some very
said you're going
tough
to.
ethical questions when it comes to business. That one wasn't one of them.
That one was not
That
one
one
of
was
them.
pretty cut and dry. Like, just don't do that.
Just don't.
Don't do that. Yeah, I think my thoughts on it, I think so many people preach this idea of you have to grow the business at all costs, and there's certain businesses where that makes sense. Like I feel like this comes from like the startup world where it's like you just like don't worry about profiting right now. Like you want to grow the business, you want to just like, churn through money and like just build the thing that you're building. But that's backed by investors who know that risk going in. It's like, yeah, we're not going to be profitable for 5 years or 10 years. Or some businesses are like some of the biggest businesses in the world still aren't profitable. Like I don't think Tesla's even profitable yet. I don't know much about finance and stuff, so don't even listen to that. Might be completely wrong. But like that idea of trying to like just feed the machine and grow it, and then you'll get to the other side and you'll reach this what do they call that? Like, all I'm thinking is terminal velocity, but I don't think that's it.
Yeah, I don't know what the word is you're looking
Whatever.
for.
But that attitude like has translated over to people in the trades like this who are preaching like this 10x, like just keep growing, keep going, take that debt because this debt is going to make you this money. And in the end, it's the cheapest money that you could get is borrowing it to do this because I can make that much money. And it's like, yeah, that's great in an ideal world. But like then when like shit hits the fan, you still have all this debt and like it crumbles really quickly. There's a sustainability of growing a business in a responsible way because like you said, you not only have your employees that you're putting at risk when you make decisions, you're also bringing innocent people's money into it. Like you have to always, I think, have enough money sitting aside that if everybody in our queue of work was like, I'm backing out, I don't want to do this, like I could give them their deposit back and it's not like, oh, I already spent that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you need to have a stockpile of cash or assets that will get you through those hard times, because it's like a house of cards, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm getting frustrated. I don't think I've ever sighed this much. You know, it just really grinds my gears when people do this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're trying to prove something to somebody that, like, oh, look how cool and important I am. How many, like, people, all they talk about is revenue. Like, oh, I scaled to $10 million in revenue. Like, who gives a shit? We could do that too if we went out and just like borrowed like $2 million to buy machinery and trucks, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is.
It's
You know what it
completely
is?
insane.
Unethical.
It's unethical, and you can't just build a business and get through every adversity just by having the right mindset.
Yeah.
It's a good start. It's a good thing to have, but you can't just 10x everything away. Or you can. That's what he's doing. He's 10xing everything away.
Yeah, he's kind of done that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what this is reminding me of?
What?
Those pyramid schemes, like legit, like actual pyramid schemes, that they are just never ending. Like there's always new ones popping up. There's always these people in my DMs trying to get me to sell their shampoo or supplements or toothpaste or whatever.
Yeah.
And those are like, it's kind of like not the same, but it's like a pyramid scheme is there's one person on top who's making a whole bunch of money, and then they find other people, and then it just eventually preys on poor people, and it's so sad and disgusting. And this is giving that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I feel like this maybe is like MLMs are geared towards women, so this might not resonate with a lot of people, but it's annoying and it's sad and it's gross.
It is. And I'm not sure if a Ponzi scheme is different from a pyramid scheme, because like a Ponzi scheme, I feel like this is more of like a Ponzi scheme where you're taking the money that you get from this new person, and instead of putting that aside to pay for their materials or whatever, you're using it to pay this, to keep a job going from before.
Yeah.
Like the Bernie Madoff thing. Like, you have to keep getting new investor money to pay out the dividends and the interest payments to all the people originally, and it just like keeps the demand for more income and cash flow just exponentially grows until it collapses on itself.
Yeah.
And that's basically what this, it wasn't a sustainable business, and it's showing that. And he's acting like everything's going to be okay, and he's out there just doing jobs. I don't think it's going to be okay. I think like there's a lot of evidence that they've brought up that like, I think he's probably going to go to jail.
How long do people go to jail for this type of thing? Like what's...
No clue.
Yeah. Me neither.
Did you want to get into that other, that personal story that we were talking about?
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't care. Yeah, I'll talk about it. Whatever.
All right. This is breaking news. Well, no, it's not. It
really
happened
not.
a while ago, but
It happened in like
I can't believe we're talking about that.
2017.
This is very exciting.
This is an ethical thing. I'm sure a lot of you heard about the GoFundMe thing with the homeless guy giving the last $20 to this, what do they call it? Damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Ran out of gas.
Yep.
And
In a rough neighborhood, he really helped her out.
Yeah. So they set up a GoFundMe trying to raise $10,000, and they ended up raising like $405,000, like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all over like every news outlet. And that girl was my ex-girlfriend. My first love. And it is she's in jail now.
Yeah.
And it's like an insane story. They fabricated the story of this guy giving the last $20, and they made up the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like, kind of got caught up in, they didn't think they were going to get over $400,000. So that's when it like really, the stakes got a lot higher. They all turned on each other, and that's when that collapsed. But we were talking about this relatively recently about whether or not that is fraud, because you were like, well, they didn't really say that they didn't make it up in the GoFundMe.
No. Making it up is fraud and misallocating funds. I said that they didn't say what they were going to do with the money. Or that's
Yeah.
what I was questioning. I didn't know how legally binding the wording of a GoFundMe was, because they said they made up this story, which is fraud, because it's, they just fabricated a story.
Yeah.
They actually knew this guy or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And then I think that it got out of hand very quickly. I'm sure they did not expect to make that much money.
No.
So, money goes to your head or whatever, and then they started spending it on vacations and whatever.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
But my question was, it's not a company that took funds. It was like an individual person who took money.
And people
that's
willingly gave it.
And people gave without expecting anything in return. So that was where I was. My thing was like, what did she get pinned on? Like, what was the thing that sent her to jail? Because to me, it's kind of like how I, if a homeless person asks me for $20 at a gas station because they ran out of gas, and I give that to them, and then they use it to buy alcohol or whatever, I'm not going to be like, that's illegal because I said you were going to use that for
that is
something.
Fraud, and they should be jailed for that. Yeah.
So that was my thing. It is wrong and it is horrible. It is an unethical thing to do.
Yeah.
To defraud all of these people out of that money. But my thing was like, what is the thing that she actually went to jail for?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but
man,
it happens. Yeah. People get caught up in these things, and it's sad.
Money makes people go crazy.
It really does. It really does.
And she was an otherwise lovely young woman, right? Before all the fraud?
My first love. Yeah, we dated for like over 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, really long time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, that's another personal fraud story that we have. All right, let's take a little bit of a break and go to.
Yeah, it's actually just time. So
it is time.
It is time for our bad sales story of the week.
Okay. And this one comes from Alex from Masonville Landscape, and this is a funny one. And you did not read this one.
I didn't.
When it came through, but gets a call to go out for this is very, very simple like landscape cleanup job. Gets to the property, meets with the homeowner. Very briefly, the first like couple minutes. Another truck pulls up. Guy scheduled 2 estimates at the same time on purpose.
Oh, gosh.
So that he could like pin them against each other. And it wasn't even for like a huge thing. It was like, trim these shrubs and do like, I don't know, 5 yards of mulch or like whatever it was. Like, it wasn't like, I'm spending $1 million. I want to make sure like you know what you're doing. It was like the most like basic thing. And had both of them there.
Oh gosh.
And he said luckily the other person he was like so taken back that he didn't know like, should I like, this is insane.
Yeah,
like
what do you do?
What do you do right now? And he said luckily the other contractor was like, this is crazy. I don't do business like this. Nice meeting you. I'm going to leave. So then he left, and then he felt comfortable saying, you know what, I'm going to go too. But
actually, no, it's
like you just go and like you meet with the person, and you're just like, yeah, trim these bushes, and they're like, oh, yeah, there he is. It's the other guy I called out, and it's like that's
uncomfortable.
That's so uncomfortable and like so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like obviously people are gonna get 2 quotes or 3 quotes or 10 quotes if they're insane.
Yeah.
But to call I don't know if I've heard a story like that before, so I think that's pretty hilarious.
That is. I have never heard that before. That is wild.
Yeah, well, get groundwork, and you could do that over video chat, and then you could just hit, you would have a video, so it wouldn't even be video chat. You could just end it and file it away somewhere and not worry about it. So
you could see if there's somebody else lurking around giving you
so if you want to try out Groundwork to pre-qualify your clients with video walkthroughs of the scope of work, use promo code Hardworking Happy Hour 50 for 50% off your first 2 months.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Psychos out there. There's really psychos out there.
I like surprising each other with the stories, though. I think that we should do that. Last week I surprised you. This week you surprised me.
Yeah, it's kind of been like happenstance that we've done that, but I think we should maybe plan to do that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, do you have any closing thoughts for us on ethics and?
I don't think so. We couldn't have been talking for an hour, have we?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was getting ready to say like I'm done. Let's cut it short. Like, this is enough for me today. We really, how long are we going here?
It's been, well, I'm not sure because of the intro, but 52 minutes.
52 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, everyone do some reflecting on that. And I hope that you find peace with however you're building your business and doing it in a sustainable, ethical way. And when you're doing this in a business, you're not just putting yourself at risk. You're putting your employees, you're putting your clients, you're putting the trust that people have in the entire industry at risk. So tread lightly and carry on with honesty and integrity, please. But till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.